Is this Hayden Christensen's best ever performance as Anakin Skywalker? We've seen episode 5, David, and I think this is the most positive we've both felt about the series so far. Can you believe it?
Well, I really can't believe it. I mean, it's sort of defeating the concept of our show, Turn to the Dark Side. I'm really more of a grey Jedi this week because we're both Hayden Christensen stans at heart, really, aren't we, Louise?
Yeah, we really are, but thankfully we've still found something to argue about because you don't think this is his best performance ever. Please do tell.
Well, it's true. I mean, look, Hayden Christensen did a very nice job in this week's episode of Ahsoka, and I'm not faulting it at all. But if we're talking about is this his best ever performance as Anakin Skywalker, I would be inclined to say maybe not. I would point people instead to Revenge of the Sith. Now, I am deeply biased because Revenge of the Sith is my joint favourite Star Wars movie. It's neck and neck with Empire Strikes Back, which will be sacrilege to a lot of people, I know.
Yeah.
But it's just how I feel. And I think the thing is, the reason why I say it's his best performance is because Hayden Christensen is really working overtime in that movie. I feel like it's quite unfair that people have come down so hard on him over the years and said all kinds of awful things about his acting ability, when really it is the script of those movies which are the biggest hindrance. I mean, when you have such clunky, weird, unnatural dialogue to deliver, I mean, you could give it to Daniel Day-Lewis and I'm not sure he'd have done much better. So I think just the mere fact that Hayden Christensen is working overtime, and the fact that his line delivery has become quite iconic in that movie. You know, you think about that climactic scene between him and Obi-Wan Kenobi just before their big duel, and it's been memed and parodied all over the internet, you know, you will not take her from me, you know, all this craziness. But actually, I mean, people are very cynical and very quick to say, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's, you know, what a bad actor. He's playing an unhinged, like, you know, psycho, right? So really, that you can kind of say, is that a deliberate choice? You know, I mean, he certainly does seem like someone who has completely gone off at the deep end, which is the point of the scene. And then, of course, there are lighter moments in the movie as well. I point people to, you know, the Obi-Wan and Anakin interactions towards the start, you know, when they're boarding Grievous's ship and they're having a bit of banter. And you sense a real bit of camaraderie there. The romance scenes with Natalie Portman, not great. I'm not here to say.
We'll skip over those.
Look, yeah, you don't just turn a blind eye for the sake of my argument. But overall, I would say, look, Revenge of the Sith, it's an epic movie. He's got a much larger, more substantial role. He's got a difficult arc, you know, over two hours, going from, you know, the nice Jedi guy to the absolute loony. And I think he does it well. So I think it would be a bit premature to say this is his best performance, although it is a good one.
Interesting how you say about the lines going down in film history. I would argue not for the right reasons. This episode of Ahsoka, I think I mean, it's not a large amount of time for him to prove himself to his fans, but I think he really does. I think the physicality he's got going on in this episode is a bit reminiscent of animation, which I really liked, and I think was probably a very deliberate choice from him and Dave Filoni there. He's got that chemistry with not only Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, but a young Ariana Greenblatt as young Ahsoka, which I thought was absolutely amazing to switch sort of between those two different scenes and have that connection with both Ahsokas, and for us to really feel that history that they've got going on throughout all of the show, throughout, you know, everything we've seen of their relationship so far. I think that was so deeply important, and I think he absolutely smashed it. And, you know, I'll tell you this now, that man knows how to wield a lightsaber. The choreography of those fights was absolutely amazing. I think you've got to agree with me on this one. It
was refreshingly good choreography for recent Star Wars, but come on, I mean, the Mustafar sequence, and let's not forget Count Dooku, his powers had doubled.
So are you on the dark side with David, or are you fighting the good fight with me this week? Let us know in the comments, and we'll be looking at some of the spiciest takes next week. See you then.
Bye for now.